Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all of my students and whoever is watching this video right now. I hope and pray that you're all in good health, enjoying yourself, enjoying another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. It's bright, it's sunny, but it's a little windy as well, not very hot. So another beautiful, beautiful day ahead. So we are going to learn a little more about the way the plants carry their seeds. So it was very wonderful to know that there are many ways the system is working. As we discussed about that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made all the things in a systematic way. There's a sequence for everything. And Allah ta'ala has made all this so very beautiful. And this is for us to see, to look, and to observe all these things. So we get to know how amazingly these are being designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then when watching all these and observing all this, we are going to definitely be very, 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 and even more grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that how wonderfully He has designed and made so much and so huge things, so many things, and even ourselves as well, right? So there's beauty all around us. You must have seen that, right? And the most beautiful things which we see all around is definitely the small kids like you who are very, very beautiful, amazing, amazing creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They look so adorable. All the small kids, or every small kid in this world is very, very sweet and cute and beautiful. Then the next thing, which is equally beautiful, yeah, maybe a little equally beautiful because we love our kids more, that is the colors around us. Yes, the colors around us is like, there are like many things which are colorful around us. Some are not natural, but some are natural. But those which are natural, they are like very, very, very amazing. And what do you think is very colorful around us? What do you see colorful when you go into your lawn, when you go out? What do you see very colorful? Yeah, we see flowers, right? Yeah, we see flowers, beautiful flowers. There are lots and lots of colors. There are lots and lots of species, like many kinds of flowers when we go out. And many different shades of even a single color, especially when it's springtime. We get to see so many flowers around us and beautiful colors. You name it, and all the colors are there. There are reds and yellows and blues and purples and different shades of purples, different shades of blues, different shades of pinks and yellows and what am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anything. And like there are maroons and there are blacks and there are peach roses. I'm like, oh my God, they are so amazing. But have you ever thought that why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made these flowers? And why they are so very colorful, why they are so very attractive? And yes, another thing is that they smell very nice. You must have noticed that, yeah? Yeah, they smell beautiful. When you go out in your lawn, you go out somewhere or you're passing by somewhere where there are roses, especially our local roses, they smell very, very, very nice. They're like different flowers which has got different fragrance, different smell. So they all are very beautiful, very, very beautiful in all ways. But why are they so colorful? There are leaves, there are all different kind of leaves. Remember, we did leaf painting. They were all different, but they were all green, a little different shades, different shapes as well, and shades as well, right? But they're all green. But why are all the flowers so colorful? So as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the reason for everything, there is a reason for that as well. And that there is a very, very amazing reason for that. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made these flowers so bright and so beautiful, right? It is because that even plants depend on animals, birds, and insects even to carry their pollen from one flower to another flower, right? Yesterday, I have shown you a picture where the insect was carrying the seed, remember? Yes. But this is another way the plants grow, they spread their pollen. I don't know, yeah, have you seen that or not? If you touch the flower tip, there is something a little yellowish, like a powdery thing, which stick to your fingers. We have experienced it when we were like kids and we used to play out in the grounds and in the fields. Yeah, there were open areas. There were like many open areas when we were like small kids as compared to these days. Yeah, so yeah, we used to go and play everywhere, like, yeah, in kind of like greenlands, in kind of like small jungles and bushes and all that. And it was so fun. So we used to even carry the seeds along with our like cardigan, sweaters, our shoes, our socks. We used to carry that as well, as I told you before. And when we used to touch the flowers, that pollen sticks to our fingers. And there is a little yellowish, lighter yellowish. Sometimes it's bright yellow color, a powdery thing which stick to your finger. So you can uh, observe that when you go out and touch a flower. Don't pluck the flower, just touch it from the tip. I'll show you the flower picture from where you can touch the tip. So you will feel that there is some powdery thing that stick to your fingers, right? And that is called the pollen. Yes, it is a very minute particles of powder, which is mostly in the springtime. And most of the people get allergic from that pollen as well. They got sneeze and headaches and all that. So the pollen allergy is also one of those, right, in that season, in that weather. So the flowers usually have bright colors. They have very bright colors. Why? To attract, yes. And they also smell nice. So they attract all the insects, they attract the birds, they attract the animals towards that, mostly the birds and insects, which carry the nectar or the pollen of the flowers. So in these days as well, you must have seen bees and butterflies. They are flying around and they're sitting on the flower. They sit on the flower. You must have observed, right? They sit on the flower and they take the nectar. They drink it like they would drink something from the straw. And the pollen stick to their feet, and from they fly from one flower to another flower. They carry the eggs. The pollen is the eggs. They carry it from one flower to the other flower, so they even grow more and more and more. So when there were less people on earth, even then the earth was very green. Even it was more greener than these days. Why? Because the system was working, the birds, the insects, the plants, they were all in the natural form and there were no much buildings and all that. So they had the perfect environment to grow, to flourish, right? So what is pollination? The pollen, the process is called the pollination, right? Now, the pollination is the process in which the pollen, the eggs, which I told you, is carried from one flower to another one flower, and then they get and stick to the stigma of another flower so that it can finally unite, and then they make another beautiful flower for all of us, right? Yes, they are all working for us. And then even the honey is being made that way. So the process in which the insects take the pollen from one flower to another flower, that is called pollination, right? Yeah, that is called the pollination. So I am just going to show you a picture in which you can just get to know that how you must have seen that. This picture will not be new to you, but you're going to just have a look at that. How do they look? Do they go to the flower, near to the flower, and they take the nectar from the flower. Okay, so I am just going to share that picture with you, and you are going to observe that yourself, right? This is everywhere around that, not in very busy cities, like where there are all the buildings and all. You might not see them over there, but yes, in the fields, in the mostly in where there are fields and where there are lands, you can find these kind of scenes everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to share a picture with you. Now have a look at this picture. See, this is an insect. Like they're like many kind of different flies and bees, and you see this yellow part of the flower. Now this has got the pollen. When you're going to touch this part of the flower, you will even feel this yellowy powder on your fingers. So the bees, the insects, the birds, they are attracted to the colors of the flowers. They're attracted to the brightness of the flowers, and they're attracted to the smell of the flowers. Now honeybees even, honeybees go to each flower, each and every flower, and take the nectar of the flower and then makes honey for us. Do you know that? Yeah. So honey is the nectar from every flower. And one honeybee in her whole life, she just makes a teaspoonful honey in her full life. I think the teaspoon. Yeah, not the tablespoon. Only the teaspoonful she makes honey in her whole life. So honey is very precious. It's very precious. So this is how the bees and the insects, they take the pollen from one flower and they then fly and they go sit on the other flower, and then they transfer that pollen from one flower to another flower, and that process is called pollination, right? This whole process is called pollination. That is correct, right? And now there's another amazing thing, that different animals and birds, they're attracted to different colors of flowers. Not like, it's not that every bird goes to all, every single flower. No, they are attracted to different color and different flowers. That is also amazing. Like if you talk about hummingbird, hummingbird attracted to the yellow flowers, orange flowers, and red flowers. Wow, they're all my favorite color. Yeah, the red, the orange, and yellow. So the hummingbirds are, they are attracted to those color flowers. And while the insects, they prefer mostly the white flowers, the purple flowers, and the blue flowers. And now this is up to you to observe it closely. And I have observed that. Yeah. So the insect was sitting on the white flower that was in my lawn. Yeah. So there were white flowers these days. I don't know. I don't have white flowers now these days. But a month before, we had white flowers in our lawn. And I observed that if they sit only on the white and purple, I had white and purple both, right? So I didn't have a blue, but yes, white and purple. And it was, and the insect was mostly sitting on the white flower. Yeah, that was so amazing. So you're going to observe that. That is so amazing to observe these kind of things, that hummingbird, we do have hummingbirds here in Lahore and in like Islamabad. and in all this region, mostly in Punjab. Yeah, we do have hummingbirds. We can even see and observe that, okay, let's see which bird likes or attracted to which kind of flower. So that is so amazing. That is so amazing. And it is so beautiful that they like different flowers, not all like the same flowers. So we talked about pollination. So I'm going to show you a picture of a flower. This it has got like stigma and stamens and ovaries. So this is the flower. So the pollen, they takes it to this part when they fly from one flower to the other flower. So they the pollen of the other flower stick to this part, right, like this. This is, they have, like, you can see that this is the dissection of the flower. They have cut the flower. So this is the inside part of the flower, right? So it has got stigma, it has got stamen, and then here are where the pollen dust that spreads here, and then that makes the new flower, right? And there are even there are some insects who comes out in at night, right? Not all are they come out in the daytime. So have you ever noticed that there are some flowers which smells very nice at the night time? You must have observed that. So you're going to observe that as well, right? So plants that bloom at night, they also pollinate. Yes, and animals such as moths and bats, they help in the pollination at night. So flowers that send a strong fragrance through the air, they attract the insects and bats. So when you're walking at the night time and you pass through a house where there is a very good smell, and mostly that is, we call it Rat Ki Rani, yeah, and that smells so beautiful. That smells so beautiful. So that attracts the animals at night, the bats and the insects, because they are the plants which pollinate in the night, right? They bloom in the night, so they pollinate in the night. And the night blooming gives out a very strong scent to attract night pollinators. So this, I'm going to just show you the picture of this flower. This is also the night flower that gets attracted. The bats and the insect gets attracted at the night time, right? And this is the hummingbird. See, hummingbird is the very smallest bird, and this is being attracted to the yellow, red, and orange. Yeah, see? So this is all beautiful to know that how beautiful these things are being systematically made by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you're going to find out if apple, cherries, and plums and apricots belong to the rose family. Okay, so we are going to find that out. So many flowers have attractive scents, and flowers are the largest source of fragrance for the perfume industry as well. Do you know that? Yes. Rose and jasmine flowers are, that's the favorite scent of all of us, right? So in our today's class, we have discussed about the pollination. We have discussed about why the flowers have made so beautifully, so bright and attractive, and why do they smell so nice. And you got to know that, right? Why the flowers are so beautiful, attractive, colorful, and they smell nice. It is only because they have to pass the pollen from one flower to another flower, and they have to attract all the birds and the insects towards them, and for to grow more and more plants. And then we get even honey. When the flower blooms, the honeybees go from one flower to another flower, and another thousands and millions of flowers, and then they make honey for us. And one honeybee makes only 1 teaspoon in her whole life. Yeah. So this was our science class in which we have discussed about pollination, and as I told you, that the whole process, the pollen taken from one flower to another flower, that is called pollination, right? Okay, so you know that what you have to do. Remember what you have to do for us. Yeah, you have to subscribe our channel. Yes, that's a small favor we are asking for you. And then if you like the video, you're going to give it a thumbs up. And I know that you love your friends, so you're going to share that with your friends as well. Okay, so I'm going to say you goodbye from this class, and I'll see you soon in the next class. Till then, stay safe, be happy, and be grateful for whatever you have. Okay, so till the next class, bye bye and Allah Hafiz.